we should be about there. There's a 20-second delay, of course. Probably like that on most platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. You are up on YouTube. All right, we're good to go. All right, guys, welcome to the first live stream, G Slade's Indie Music Showcase. It's exciting. Now, it's fitting that you guys are the first band I've had because you were one of the first podcasts we did.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were the first, like the video one though. So like I'm excited. We're the first.
Yeah, you guys are the first. I started doing it for one of my other shows, but I hadn't worked it out for this show yet. So you're the guinea pigs.
I love it.
That.
Awesome.
That sounds right.
Yeah. All right, make sure I still got you queued up over there. Well, anyway, welcome to the show, The Spider Accomplice with VK, Lynne. We got Arno. We talked a few months ago and about everything being locked down. And so you guys were doing live streams. Before we came on, we were talking about you guys moving to Twitch. Have you started that already?
I did. Unfortunately, because of pandemic regulations and whatnot, I have to do them by myself because Arno is, in a different location. But I've done 2 so far. And it just has potential to get better as you go because there's a lot of things to learn. And the first week we had some audio issues, but then last week we have it. And this week we're adding even more pomp and circumstance. So it's probably going to be ridiculous in a few weeks. I fully expect it to be ridiculous. So.
Well, that's nice. I think it's good to learn new things all the time and, create a bigger show, constantly.
Yeah, I mean, Twitch is the way to go, right?
They say.
It's where all the gamers are. So if you want to infuse gaming into your live shows, you could do that too. You and Arno could fight on Mortal Kombat or something.
Yeah.
I haven't played a video game since okay, I'm going to date myself here, but seriously, like since Frogger.
Yeah.
Frogger.
Yeah, like my grandmother had an Atari when I was a kid,
and I had one of those.
I never got past the Atari because after that I was like too busy and stuff.
Too busy.
It was singing. Commodore 64. That's the last time I played. Yeah. So that must have been something 80s or something.
So I know we're here to talk about new music, but Arno, we did not have you on the original podcast. So if you don't mind, man, like give me a brief version or long form, whatever you want to give me about you and the history with Spider Accomplice.
Well, I think, it started, the whole thing started 2014, but as a Spider Accomplice, I think it was 2015 when we really started the band, and we were a trio. We had a drummer, and it's just started to make our own music, and I don't know, it just evolved, to this, what we have right now, and just having a good time, playing good songs. I don't know where do we fit as a band, but we don't care too much, so as long as, we give everything, we make good music and everybody's happy.
I think, VK, we touched on that when you and I talked about how it's hard to put you guys in a box about, who you sound like and whatnot, right?
Yeah. I mean, we get, sometimes we'll get comparisons, but they're always so different that there's I feel like I'm having trouble finding like a common denominator. Like somebody will say, oh, you remind me of this person and this, and there's never a common thread that I can say, if you like this, you'll like this. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that will evolve eventually, but right now it's,
Yeah, I got you. Well, I was trying to think while you were saying that who I would compare you to, but honestly, I have no idea because your vocals have a lot of soul in it, almost that Southern gospel sound. And, and then the rock is very rock, but you guys can go a little chill too. And, like this song we're playing tonight, right, is not really like over the top rock.
Yeah, it's more of a power ballad kind of thing.
And so I know the song's called Keep, but you know me, I love to hear the backstories on all this stuff. So what's the story with Keep?
Well, from my end, I was on a plane because sometimes I have great ideas in airports. I'm on a plane, and I actually wasn't having a great idea at the time. I was actually leaving Philadelphia because I had gone home for my father's funeral, and I was coming back, and I had just seen a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a long time. And it was one of those moments where I think everyone's had it, where everyone you've seen seems to have like, you know, a house and kids and a real job and all of those things. And I was like, what is going on? I'm like, it's like that meme you've seen on Facebook where it's like everyone else is like what I did this year. And it's like, I got a job and I have like a house. And then they just have a picture of someone on stage going, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I did this year. That's what I did this year. And I said to my husband on the plane, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm just going to quit. I'm just going to quit. Like I don't know if anyone would even care if I quit. I don't know if it means anything what I do. I don't know if it means anything. But even as I was saying that, this song was starting in my head. And so I got out my paper and I just started writing it down. My husband said, really? You're going to quit? What are you doing there? And I said, you know, I don't need your attitude. So yeah, right. So that's, I don't know. Sometimes I think in those moments when you're the most pressed, like when you're feeling the most like, that's when like songs will kind of spring to your brain. It's like an emotional kill switch or something. It's to keep you from going crazy. It's like, wait, you don't have to go crazy. We'll write a song and we'll let the steam out that way. So
yeah. And musically, I think, you know, it just started, you know, from your place, you know, we're just, you know, playing 2-chord song and you started singing these words and we were recording that. And then I came home and just was listening to that, you know, what I recorded previous night. And then I started to switching some chords for that. And little by little, it came together, you know, some riff and, you know, some, you know, and it felt good, you know, it felt like, for me, it was more like a British style of song from Europe. I'm originally from Finland, you know. So, but, you know, VK, I think, you know, you think, you know, it's more like a country style, you know, American country, you know. So we even, you know, have different, you know, views about the song, you know, so.
What's the process there? I mean, if right now for you guys to write, you can't really like just get in the same studio and write. You know, do you just like send each other pieces and then you eventually piece it together, or do you like live stream and write together? I mean, how do you handle that right now?
No, pretty much what you were saying. It's, you know, we'll send each other things, you know, little, sometimes for me, it's even just a shitty, you know, iPhone thing that I'll do and whatnot and send it to Arno. And he generally knows exactly where I'm going, no matter how bad the recording is that I send him. Yeah. Or he'll send me something, you know, some fabulous thing that he wrote and I'll just start hearing vocals over it. And so I'll record vocals over here and send it and we'll just go back and forth and whatnot. I mean, yeah. we've had some really great songs come out of being in the same room together, but you know, part of, I keep saying this in all these interviews, like part of this whole process is being able to pivot, you know, if you make music, you make music and it doesn't matter what the circumstances are. You've got to keep making music. You've just got to figure out how. And if something's going on that you can't be in the same room, okay, well, what can you do? Okay, we're going to do it this way now. So we'll just keep pivoting until we've reached a point where we're just dizzy.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, it's very important, you know, like I really miss those times, you know, when we are together in the same room and just composing and, you know, just, you know, like feeding the energy off from each other. And, you know, just, you know, that's the easiest way, you know, to create something, you know, sustainable, good. And yeah, you know, it's when you're far apart, you know, you just, you know, like have an idea for a song, then you send back and forth the files. The communication is way slower than it's in a room, same room, you know, you can just ping pong that feeling, you know, but during files, you know, this COVID times, you know, we have to, you know, just to, you know, adapt to the situation.
Are you guys both in LA right now or?
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
that's got to be a bummer to even be in the same city and can't get together.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's because it's like, I mean, it's you know, like the Black Plague here. I mean, they're saying 1 in every 5 people in Los Angeles County is infected right now. So yeah, they're basically just begging people to just stay home. You know,
or maybe we need a room, you know, one of those, you know, like a prison, you know, like a, you know, those you know, dividers, you know, that would be great. Yeah, that glass, and then you have a microphone, each side, so Can you build that in your place?
Exactly. I'll do that.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Well, I know some of your live streams during the pandemic, you guys were like together but far apart on a roof. I mean, are you still allowed to do that, or?
Well, we had tried that for a few weeks, and then things got bad again, and the numbers were going up again. And then like a close friend of mine who actually was at one of those, who kind of came and was distant from us, he came down with COVID, and he was sick for a month with that. And then we thought, okay, we better just
so it actually hit him pretty hard then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Definitely.
seems to vary.
He's our age, so I was like, okay,
Right.
that was kind of the wake up call of like, we better just, I mean, even though Arno's being careful, I'm being careful, we're always wearing masks. It seems like no one wants to be responsible for making someone else deathly ill, so.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's really the risk, right? Even if you can handle it, you don't know if your neighbor can, so you got to be chill about it. Well, I mean, so what challenge did that give you for like this single and the mastering and like production side of it? Because you could record your bits and everything, but how do you get it kind of all put together for release?
Well, I think it's like you said, we can record over here. We have a studio over here. Vika has a studio over there, and we have a mixing guy, this amazing guy. He's in Scotland. The other side of the world, and so he does a great job. We had our last, like I would say, like 5 songs with him. And he's he knows our style, and I think it's very comfortable, to send the songs to him, and he mixes those very well, so then after that, the mix is done. Over here in Los Angeles, there's a guy, who masters those, and so pretty much, it visits Scotland, comes back to Los Angeles, so
yeah, it's been all around the world already before it even gets heard. Wow.
Yeah, Arno's being modest, but he does a lot of the tracking. He does all the guitars and the bass and all of that. We did have our friend Arturo play piano on this one, but by and large, Arno's kind of the whole orchestra himself. And then it all goes to Colin McGuck in Scotland at Matte Black Audio, and he's delightful. He actually writes emails in his Scottish accent, which is it's great. It's like I'm talking to Chibs from Sons of Anarchy.
I was going to go Shrek, but you went Chibs. Way
I
cooler.
had no Chibs. I love Chibs.
Chibs is great.
Oh, he's the man. And then it all goes to Mayor Applebaum, and he in Los Angeles, and he's just a mastering genius, and he's quick. He is quick. He really likes to have a 24-hour turnaround. If you get it to him, he's in there, and doing his thing, and he's like, boom, there it is. Yeah. So,
and he sends the 2 versions, and we can decide, which version we want. We like the best.
Like it's always version 2.
Yeah, I think he maybe he just lets himself go, and well, let's try something weird. Well, we usually like that, so.
Yeah, maybe he likes even numbers. Question. I have a controversial question about the number 2. Is that a prime number? I mean, wouldn't it fall into the?
Gosh, you're asking math questions.
Yeah, I understand you hate math. We went over that on your first interview.
Yeah. This is not English. Cool, man. Like,
but right, a prime number's only factors are 1 in itself, right? So 2 would qualify, right? I'm not being crazy with that, am I?
I don't know.
It's just 1 and 2, right? I mean, that's it. It's like 1 and 1, 1 and 2, 1 and 3. The reason I'm asking is because on some weird, I think it was on a TV show, somebody said there's no 3 consecutive prime numbers, and I was like, well, 1, 2, 3. So it made me question myself, and I had that random thought while I was talking to you. So you guys are subjected to this now.
See, if you had a grammar question, I'd be here for you, man. I'm grammar all day, but this is like.
Okay, what do you think, VK, what's your favorite number, VK?
My favorite number?
Yeah, I think 10 is mine. 10 is good.
I remember when I was a kid, I liked 15. I really remember thinking that when I was 15, it was going to be the best year ever. It was not. No, it was a shitty year. Okay, I looked it up. Yes, 2 is a prime number.
All right, so there are 3 consecutive prime numbers. Nice.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
I feel validated, and I can't explain why I picked now to pull that out of the hat.
Let your feelings flow.
Like 30 episodes into this podcast, I've never asked anyone else. So,
All right.
But hey, Arno, you're actually the second Finnish-born guest we've had on the show.
All right. Who was the first one?
Yeah, a guy named I want to say it right. Januarius is his artist name, and it's one of the recent episodes. If you go back onto the archives at gsladeshow.com, he's the dude with the beard. It looks kind of like a school portrait.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, the guy with the beard. It's a recent episode. It's in the 20s. I can't remember the exact number.
Okay.
I my fact checking producer guys off today. So,
what kind of music he plays? Is it rock music, metal music, or
man? God, he did a little of everything. He does like a little bit of 8-bit stuff, and he also does some rock. And he's really good at rock. He prefers to do like these soundscapes for like soundtracks.
Okay.
But a heck of a guy. One of the more interesting, at least like one of the more deep interviews. Like there was like depth because he was all over the place. But you should check it out if you listen to an episode of the show. Because he's from Finland. I can't remember the town he lived in. It was 1 syllable. That's all I remember.
Oh, okay.
That's unusual for Finland.
Yeah, it started with like a vowel sound, and I can't pronounce it. I'd probably make it 3 syllables, but he made it 1.
Okay, yeah. There's weird. Finnish language is weird, So weird names, and weird language and weird people, So
is it weird? Is it unique?
Yeah.
Well,
unique.
He said there's several languages spoken in Finland. That there's people that speak German, Norwegian, Sweden, and even a weird was it Chinese or Japanese? That's big over there?
Well, it depends, but usually, when we come like after high school, we know at least 3-4 languages already, So
wow. See, we don't even know one over here.
Swedish and German or French or Spanish. So but yeah, we have to use those languages. That's why Finland is only 5 million people, 5.5 million. What are you going to do over here? So, teach people Finnish.
Wow. That's like Houston.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's nobody over there, So.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. But I thought you might get a kick out of knowing we had another Finnish guy.
Oh yeah. That's cool. I'll check it out.
Thanks. So, well, we kind of came on here to talk about your new song, and you gave me the backstory, but you have a video to go along with it, right? So we're going to show that. And it's not like a premiere, but it's it's relatively new,
same
right?
Day, so we're going to say it's a premiere-esque.
Yeah, premiere-esque. It's premiere-ish.
Premiere-ish.
Yeah.
Premierous, because I was trying to bring it into like promiscuous and premiere, and it was kind of hard. Didn't work out. Promiscuous. There you go. Promiscuous. All right. So we're going to show you this promiscuous video. If I can work my technology here, which of course I can, because that's what I do. All right.
All right.
And we're going to hit play on this bad boy. And here we go. We're going to shut up and let y'all hear the song.
Time ran out on all your doubts. A secret came to light. You locked it up tight, but I could see you held the key. So turning, you turned it over to me. And I will keep your confidence for the smaller. And day by day, it will eat me away. This will always be between you and me. And I will keep your confidence for the peace of those alive, as what's left within me dies. And I will keep your confidence for the peace of those alive, as what's left within me dies, for the blood that is in me. Time ran out.
Nice. Let me make sure nothing starts playing. All right.
Mhm.
And then for this will be on my like Spotify channel and all that too, so they'll get to hear it. And if those people want to see that video, they can check out your YouTube channel. Like YouTube channels have the worst URLs until you get like so many followers and whatnot. So is there
And even then.
yeah? So what's a quick way for them to find that video?
I would say, if you just put in the Spider Accomplice, you'll find it. I mean, like the SEO is pretty solid on some of our pages and whatnot. Also, I'm gonna have it up on our main website, which is where you can find all of our stuff. So the spideraccomplice.com. And if you're really lost and you're sad, come find me, because if you just look for the pink hair, VK Lynne, I'm always I've got this thing attached to me, so reach out. I will tell you. I will help you. I will guide you.
Speaking of pink hair, Jess, my wife, says hello.
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 Remember, she kind of started this whole thing by pointing me to you guys on Instagram like months
She's a good
ago.
woman.
So
Yeah.
I agreed, the best, at least for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so shout out to Jess, because otherwise there's you and a couple of guests I probably wouldn't have had on the show, or maybe it would have been much later. And so I remember when we had our initial interview, and for people that didn't hear that, we went over why you guys call yourself the Spider Accomplice. So you don't have to go like through the whole story unless you want to, but like give me the like a quick version of that, unless you have time for the whole version. But where'd that band name come from?
It's basically a metaphor for my psychopathy. I have a theory that there's a little spider in my brain weaving webs and making me crazy until I write the song. And then when I get the song out, it gets the web out, but then the spider just keeps spinning and spinning and spinning and whatnot. And so the songs are kind of like the little webs that I spit out, because that's kind of my therapy, I guess you could say. Like,
Right.
If something is eating away at me in some way, I'm going to write a song about it. It's going to happen.
Now
Just
that
happen.
would that make you Charlotte?
Charlotte Kavatka? Possibly.
Well,
I love that. That was one of my favorite books as a child. So quite possibly.
I won't suggest what that makes Arno.
Oh,
A kid. Good video though, guys. When did you actually film that?
recently, actually. Obviously we had to be separate again. We've been separate. We were separate for Crawl. We managed to get together for Oil Meets Rain before, of course, the world blew up again. But then we had to be separate again this time.
Yeah. So that was like pretty much like a week ago, like I think we recorded that, so
really?
Yeah, not that long ago.
yeah. So I think it was like last Saturday when I shot my parts, for that, so so it's very fresh.
The week before. So
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
So isn't it your husband that helps with that?
hmm Yeah,
Now,
he's a
did he do Arno's stuff too?
Arno's friend shot it, and then
Yeah.
Sean edited the whole thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like how the guitars kept switching. It was magic.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, it's one guitar in a video. That's not enough. You have to have more.
Not
You know,
enough.
so.
And you guys were dressed snazzy. I like your coat you had on, VK, with the designs on it. It wasn't just black, you know?
Yeah. Well, that is a thrift store find. I'm a big fan of
Nice.
thrift storing, and that one point where it's black and white, and I've got my hands in my pockets near the tree. That's my Don Henley End of the Innocent shot.
Nice. If you go to a thrift shop in LA, that might be something you can find. If you go to one in Mississippi, it's just like a Cleveland Browns sweater. I mean, that's all.
Maybe next video is a Cleveland Browns, for us.
There you go. Yeah, next time wear a brown
Honestly,
sweater.
that has got to be one of the top 3 things I miss during the pandemic, being able to go
Browns?
thrift shopping.
Oh, thrift shopping. Okay.
Miss it super bad.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I used to do when, like some people have retail therapy. The thing is, I like retail therapy, but I'm never going to spend more than $20. So I need
You gotta
to
go thrift.
and I just like that whole finding like hidden gems kind of thing. And yeah, you just can't go now. It's like,
Yeah.
Well, I had the same thing, but it's with music equipment and pedals and guitars and like all that. You're a musician, so you understand, so
Yeah.
that's a more expensive.
it's the gear, like I don't care what kind of shoes I have, but like if there are holes in it, but you have to have the best equipment and coolest, little stuff.
No, that's true. It comes out in the quality of the music if you don't have quality stuff. So what do you think your best find is, or your favorite find?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I mean, actually, like right now in auction, a few days ago, like I got this one. This is awesome. This is Burns guitar. But this is like a kind of like a bass. This is tuned to very low, so.
Really?
So it has interesting sounds, and it definitely takes you somewhere else. And I was bidding on that, and it's $500 later, it was mine, so. So I think, I like that, something you can't see that too often, this kind of thing, but you can definitely have a cool sounds, totally different sounds what I have from my other guitars, so good to try.
Awesome. Yeah, there's actually a lot of guitars in like thrift shops around the Vicksburg area, but they're usually like the starter ones. They're like Squires and
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to
I
find a decent one.
like a guitar in a pawn shop. I feel like that is one of the I feel like I need to write a song about it, because every time I see a guitar in a pawn shop, it makes me sad.
you
I feel like
sad.
somebody's dream has died.
Or you can, I feel like a guitar in a pawn shop, so, like that's how low I feel.
There you go. That's a first person song. You can anthropomorphize. You're English. You tell me. You're the English teacher.
Anthropomorphize, you were correct.
Yeah. All right.
Well done, sir.
There you go. Thank you. Speaking of on the live stream on YouTube, 3 Degrees Off Center Production says, "Hi, VK."
Hi, James. How are you?
James. All right. Now we know who that is.
Yes, he is a delightful man. And he has a show. I'm going to plug him real quick if I can.
Plug it.
He has a show on YouTube called Quarantine Leap. And it's pretty cool. He's got a really
cool... It's a play on the show, right?
It is, and it's a very clever concept, and I would suggest going and watching it if you have not yet. It's very clever. He's got several episodes.
What will we find on that show?
You might see someone familiar.
What might we find on that show, just to entice the people?
It is essentially, if you're in quarantine, you can't travel anymore. So he's devised technology. That's the conceit of the show, technology, that you can just switch bodies with someone. And so you travel by spending the day in their house, in their body, and you get to see new things that way. And it's only 24 hours that you get to spend there, and then you switch back. But that's the premise of the show.
Wow, that actually sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is there an owl with like a little,
I don't, there's no Al, but
There's
you
no
know,
Al.
I think
Okay.
it's gonna, like I said, I think you're gonna see a familiar face at some point.
Maybe can't put your finger on it.
Can't put my finger but yeah, I think, and if he's watching, of course he's not watching right now, but I'm gonna say this anyway. Scott Bakula, you need to be on that show.
He might be watching. You never
Yeah.
know.
My mom's a huge fan of Scott Bakula, so if he were on that show, she would lose her mind.
Because of Quantum Leap or something else.
All of it. I think she discovered him on Quantum Leap, but she's always liked Scott Bakula, no matter what he's in. She's just a big fan.
Yeah.
Weird thing about Quantum Leap, I loved it when I was a kid. I was pretty sure it was the greatest show ever, and I tried to watch it in 2020, and not the same. When you're, I don't know,
don't hold up the way we remember. You know.
Well, there are a couple of things would. For example, I have a TV on over here right now, and every day I put it on 5 o'clock. It's MacGyver time. MacGyver is on TV, and 4 o'clock, it's Monk. Adrian Monk is solving, some, crimes, and then comes Nash Bridges, who's VK's favorite guy over there. That's
I do like Don Johnson. That's quite a man.
Yeah. So,
although I prefer Sonny Crockett, Miami Vice, that was the stuff right there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's I like old TV.
But Knight Rider.
Oh yeah,
gotta love Knight Rider.
I didn't love it. I don't know why. I just didn't love it. It felt a little cartoony to me.
Well, yeah, had a talking car, right?
Yeah. I was all Miami Vice.
But I've always loved David Hasselhoff, So I think like he's
my Hasselhoff
spirit animal, So.
You said his name was James, right? With the show, he said there unfortunately is no Al in the series. And now that I think about it, was Al called Al in Quantum Leap because it looks like AI?
Oh. I see. I didn't watch enough Quantum Leap to answer that with any level of accuracy.
Well, James,
my mom did, but I did not.
Yeah, if James is still watching, tell me your opinion on that in the chat. But yeah, because if you capitalize A and have a lower L, it looks like AI.
True.
And Al was kind of like, that's what he was, right? He was kind of like the early Siri assistants for
early Siri.
Yeah,
I like that.
So we'll look into that. So we've actually discovered a lot of good things tonight. We're talking about Quantum Leap, prime numbers, anthropomorphize. I want some more fries, whatever.
Everyone wants more fries.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's exciting. So this song we played earlier, Keep. Now, are you guys working on like a new album, or are you just doing singles, or?
Right now we're just doing singles because that allows us to put out music more often and to do more with it. Like I was saying recently, you get the benefit of learning from the last song, everything that you did right and you did wrong, and then you can take that into the next song. Whereas if you do 10 songs at once, you do that and it's a moment in time and it's great, but you don't necessarily have the benefit of a few months passing and, oh, we should have done that. And for me, since I'm doing a lot of the marketing and stuff too, it's valuable information for me. I know that's the non-sexy part of the music business, but unfortunately that's something that needs to be done. We are on a small record label and they've been doing a lot of great work for us, but I'm trying to, hold up my end and also do work. Cause if you just say, oh, go ahead, do all the work, I'll just sit here, then, you're going to just sit here. So I'm just trying to learn as we go. And I have learned a lot between, between when we did Enough and between when we did Now, I feel like, okay, I've learned some things.
Yeah, so we just have to put 100% on everything, like every single song, what we have, put everything on that, and then move forward, for the next one, So, I think, the quality of the music, is getting better, because of that, and the production and all that. When you have just, when you concentrate on one song, So, I think that's very healthy way to look at it.
Yeah, and Arno, we didn't get to talk till now, and so I was sitting here wondering, kind of like a bit of ADHD going on in my head. But what like influenced you to even start playing guitar? You know, do you have any like guitar heroes as a younger guy?
Yes, well, absolutely, I did. I think it was I was in a summer cottage in Finland, and then I heard, Hideaway, which was it was a Freddie King song, but Eric Clapton was playing that with John Mayall. And that's from 1966, their original thing. So next day I went to the store and bought the John Mayall, Blues Breakers, and then came Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and it was blues until early 90s when I think like a lot of things changed, and like songwriting got better, and the grunge feel kind of like fitted well with the Finnish melancholy, so all these like a songwriting was bigger than guitar playing, and you combine those together, so definitely it's yeah, started from blues and then off to pretty much everywhere, like our band is, it's all over the place.
Did you go from like play by ear, or did you get any formal stuff, or did you get tablature?
I played by ear. And I think I remember the most amazing moment. I think it was like a 1988 or something. Like I played Creedence Clearwater Ooby Dooby song, and when I just kept on moving my fingers, and it sounded like I did this whole solo, and that was just like absolute like a revelation for me, and it's like I can do this. So I played it 10 times more. I put the needle over there, and just played it. So those kind of like magic moments keep you playing more and more, and just just listening. Same thing with Allman Brothers Band, who I love so much. Just listening to Dwayne and Dickie Betts, and you play with them, because you don't have to move the needle too much, because their songs are 20 minutes long, so you can just so keep on jamming with guys.
Yeah. What about Rush? Were you ever into Rush?
I was, well, in Finland, Rush at that time wasn't that big, but when I came to United States, 96, and so then I started finding about Rush, and but it never was that big as those other guys I mentioned before, but hey, they are amazing band, and too bad it's no longer, but that's life.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely made an impact while they were here, though, which is what is important, especially when you're talking about artists and art and how it lives on. So that's pretty cool, man. I seem to have forgotten my follow-up question, so I don't know, man. Whatever.
Yeah.
What you got?
Yeah. Well, how about you? How many years you been playing? You have right over there. You have Zakk Wylde. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Metallica. James's guitar, and
You noticed.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. I started playing guitar. Oh man, what was I? 12 or 13.
Mm-hmm.
I never really became a good lead. I can't really shred or anything, but I love riffs.
Yeah, exactly.
Think of like Rage Against the Machine, like the way their songs are built around. I mean, I love hair metal and all that stuff. I just can't really play it, or I haven't. Say I can't. I haven't put the time into learning it and to really hone that. But I really love like coming up with like down tune riffs and things like that, and that just kind of sound badass to me.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's what I enjoy.
And now, follow-up question for me: what kind of amplifier do you feel like you're gonna get the down picking and like a doomiest riffs? What amplifier do you have?
Well, all my stuff's digital, man.
Okay.
I'm just a family dude out in the suburbs. I can't really like put a rig up, But
you can have your revenge. Yeah.
I would. There's a couple of combo amps I'd like to get. Some Marshall combos that are pretty good. That I've played on other people's stuff. But if I had like a half stack out here, the HOA would be like kicking me out. Just be it'd just be too loud, right? But there's a couple of combo amps I might want to get once I pay for all the college kids that are going to school and whatnot. And I actually have some money to spend on that. But it was funny. I started on FL Studio, had a built-in thing called hardcore, and it's just makes the guitar scream, like not necessarily in a good way.
Yeah.
But I eventually got up to complete guitar rig 5, which is pretty good. It simulates or emulates all kind of cabinets and effects, and you can get presets online that people post, you know.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
so yeah, that's what I like. So any of the stuff that I post pretty much in the last maybe not the last year, the last thing I put out didn't have it, but anything going forward has guitar rig. And I think it sounds really good, and it has some
Yeah.
like doomy presets and
Yeah, exactly. And when you get, like for example, superior drummer or something like that, you can definitely like have a, drummer and the whole band over there too, so.
yeah, I used FL Studio for that too. And then I go in and like tweak the dynamics a little so it doesn't sound so drum
Yeah.
machiney, like
Exactly. Yeah.
change up the intensity, the velocity, like I do
Velocity
random.
of the things, yeah. Yeah.
And it's fun. You add some reverb here and there, and then I like to tweak it over in Adobe Audition is where I actually do any EQing and all that.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, I enjoy that. I'm not as full time as you guys. I'm not paying my bills with it or anything, but I'm having a good time.
To this guy
That's a
taking
fun
bills with music.
all evening.
Hey, you're big time now. You guys are on a label. I don't think you were on the label when we first talked.
Maybe not. I'm trying to.
We spent
funny,
like 30 minutes dissing labels.
Well, and I still maintain a lot of what I said. What is interesting about this label is they're small and we like them. They're nice people, and they're not promising you the moon. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're telling you, this is what I can do. This is how I can do it. And I feel like if that were more de rigueur, then we'd all be better off. Like, just, this is what I can do. This is how I can do it. And I'm not going to take 80% of your money, especially since there is no money, in order to do it. It's a lot of the labels that are still trying to go by an old model. And that's where I'm like, I don't know. That's not working out so nicely. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Not all labels are, Satan incarnate. I think it's not even the labels themselves. I think it's the industry is changing so fast that nobody really knows exactly how to get a hold of it. And so sometimes people are doing things that are short-sighted and they're just looking out for their own bottom line. They're trying to keep themselves afloat, which is, it's understandable, except that they don't realize that if you keep taking from this thing that only has a finite amount of something, it's going to be empty. And then you're just going to have to keep draining things. And that's not a good way to be, because then you're just a vampire. And who wants to sign to a vampire?
Vampires suck.
But I'm
But yeah, I think the greatest thing, would be just, like a label, just getting to know the bands over there and getting on the road, get to know them and, just play together shows, East Coast, West Coast, wherever, and just get on the road and start playing again, whenever it's possible. But I think that's the most important part of that, being on a label.
Yeah. Now, do you guys also have a separate manager, or are you doing that yourself?
We do not have a manager right now. And I think it's okay. I mean, I'm pretty much, I think I'm used to kind of doing a lot of stuff on my own. So, I mean, we did have a manager for a while, but she actually is in another band right now and she got so busy and she was great. But now it's like, okay, so we're on our own again, but it's okay. I mean, if we weren't in the middle of a pandemic and we were playing tons of shows and we were making lots of money and all that stuff, sure, we need a manager. But right now, I mean, you know, they wouldn't make any money right now. They'd be like, wait a minute.
Does the label make money off of live shows you guys do?
Yeah, you're asking a great question. And I would have to go back and look at our contracts, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
but I'll cross that bridge when we come to a live show.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, it's as long as you're working together with the label, this is like everything has to be like working smoothly together, so if they take money, of course, they're putting in some time and effort, to getting something to happen. So people who work, need to get paid, so
Shout out to Dakota at DI Records. That's our guy.
yay.
Nice. Any interesting story about how that happened? Because I'm pretty sure you were unsigned when we first talked.
Yeah, actually, I was noodling around online one night, and I'm trying to remember which song it was. There was a song that I was sending out to different outlets and whatnot, and I must have sent it to Dakota, and he emailed back and he said, "Hey, is this VK Lynne?" And I said, "Yes." And he's like, "Dude, I know you." And I said, "You do? Okay." And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Oh, we're Facebook friends." And he's like, "And I know your music and blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Holy crap, that's crazy." And he's like, "Yeah, so what are you doing?" And I told him, and I sent him a whole bunch of Spider Accomplice stuff. And he's like, "Why hasn't anyone signed you guys yet?" He's like, "I'm actually really shocked you haven't been snapped up." And I'm like, "I tell you, I don't know."
You're like, me too.
This
This is
I don't know.
crazy.
Yeah.
What's
So
going on?
he's like, "Well," he's like, "I want to do it. Let's do it." And I was like, anyone who's that enthusiastic. In fact, he contacted his guy who runs a podcast and like a radio station in Pennsylvania, because they're in Pennsylvania, and apparently like contacted him right away and said, "You got to play this band, they're great, blah blah blah." And so that poor guy messaged me and he goes, "All right, he's like, I'm a dad, it's the middle of the night, so if he's letting me know about something, he must actually really like it." So, and I said, "Well, there you go." Like that kind of enthusiasm, that I can get on board with. I don't want to be signed to a label that acts like they're doing us some huge favor by giving us their name. I like the idea of a label who's so stoked about us, so we can be so stoked about them, and we can all be stoked together. That I was like, all right. I was like, that's gonna work.
Yeah.
Now, who else, if you know, is on this label that we might know?
I don't know if you know Evernoir. They're on there, and Elsie Binks and Reality Suite. And it's a lot of female fronted bands, which again, that was another thing that I was like, okay, I can get behind that, because
we talked about that too, how that's been kind of my jam lately.
Yeah. And Dakota said, he's like, he said, part of my mission is really to kind of support female fronted bands. And I said, done. So yeah, a lot of cool bands on there. Yeah, there's a Spotify playlist that's basically their whole roster. And I was sitting here one day while I was working and I had it playing in my ears and I was like, oh damn, some of this shit is really good. Like, I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's go. Let's get on the road with these people. Let's do it.
Nice. Yeah, we talked about female fronted bands on the original show, and just for the record, I still hadn't had Hailstorm, Stitched Up Heart, or Diamante on the show yet, but the dream's still alive.
The dream is alive. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this pawn shop guitar song though, for real. You need to jot that down.
You have to write that. Now I got to do that.
Yeah.
Let's add it to my freaking to-do list, man.
As far as vocals, Arno, you had some killer pipes, man.
My killer pipes, yeah. I don't know. They might be rusty pipes, but I think I really have to sing more. Like for example, I don't know. It's just I need to be in a rehearsal space, so I could sing more and all that. But during this pandemic, I haven't been singing too much. So. I make melodies, if I make melodies, with the music, I sing everything with falsetto. So I use lots of falsetto, in songwriting.
These are Michael Anthony.
Well, Michael Anthony has a full voice. He's blending amazing falsetto with the body of that. But I just when I compose, I just use falsetto, just doesn't sound like Axl Rose is one of the greatest singers, and he uses it perfectly. Both the body and the falsetto. So. But hey, that's the way I write music. So.
I got you. So when's the Arno album coming out? Because I know VK has solo stuff.
It's coming out soon. I think the first single is about chicken wings. Definitely. I love chicken wings, and that's the reason I'm here. And I think it's gonna be called Arno's First Rodeo. So I think we'll look. Yeah, I don't know when it's gonna come out, but it will be full of fun songs.
I don't know if you're familiar with the show, but you could get somebody to make you a cartoon and call it Hey Arno.
Okay.
There was a show called Hey Arnold in the 90s. So
oh really?
It'd be like
okay.
a play on that. Yeah. While
Yeah,
we're doing
I
it.
actually know one of the people who worked on that show. So.
Wow. LA's a wild life. Huh?
Yeah, actually, Arno Christie worked on that show. So
Yeah.
I'll have her draw you and Arno.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey Arno. There you go. That's perfect.
Yeah, and the other funny thing is because drinking socially is fun. Not like alcoholic, but drinking album would be also fun to make. So so I think it would be called Life in a Liquor Aisle. So something
Arno
like that.
and I are very different, as you can see.
Oh, just because you stopped drinking, like a few weeks ago, now.
A few weeks ago.
We just have different senses of humor. And it's amazing that we managed to make songs together. It really is, because we're so dramatically different. But I feel like in a way that's our strength, because I think if we were too much alike, the songs might not have any sparkle. But I think because we're so different, they kind of it's kind of like,
Yeah, it's as long as you have to enjoy everything, and just whatever you do, and and especially during days have plenty of time for your brains to come up with stupid things. Usually they are stupid, and they turn out to be kind of funny. Some if you repeat them too many
there
times.
You go. That's a t-shirt. Come up with things. It'll be great.
Go. Another question from the audience, Elvis question mark, who's been on the show. I may or may not reveal who he actually is. Said Arno is a babe, and he wants to know, does Arno give music and or handsome lessons?
I think I know this guy, and he knows, and when I'm gonna meet him, Bangkok, is for this one, I give all kinds of lessons, but
Wow.
Yeah.
Things have taken a very dark turn.
No, actually, it's not. I think it's a very funny turn.
This is a friend of yours, Arno?
Yeah, I think so. I think I know this guy, and
if he wasn't, he is now.
Well, there you go.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
And,
okay. Well, it only takes one to, I don't know, either spice up or ruin the party, whatever you want to call it, right?
Well, let's ruin the party. Ruining the party is the best, thing to do sometimes.
Yeah, ruin the friendship. That's a Demi Lovato song.
Destroy the friendship. It's perfect.
Man, that is a ton of fun. So what else is on horizon for 2021 for Spider Accomplice? What you guys got cooking? Just more singles? Any big plans?
Well, it's hard to plan anything, at this point, other than music. I mean, we can plan singles. We've got, a shit ton of songs that we've written that need, producing and then put out. But beyond that, it's really hard to plan because we just don't know when live music is going to be back.
Have you considered leaving LA? Have you ever considered that?
I know, because to tour, yes, but this is my home. I live here.
I love Los Angeles. Yeah, I think this is a great place. I was just, thinking today, where else could I live? There are a lot of places, but this is really a great city, great town. A lot of crap like everywhere else, but also a lot of great stuff too. So.
And I don't know that would change anything. You know what I mean? A lot of times it's like it's not the city. It's like I don't know that that's going to change anything, us going to a
Sure.
different city, because then it's like, okay, well, now we got to figure out where do we live and how do we make money and what are we doing now? And then we got to learn a whole new scene and all that stuff. And I'd be okay with that if I thought there was a purpose behind it. But at this point, it would be moving just to move. And
Yeah. I want some action. I want, to live in a place, where there are musicians, there are I can go to see a band and, live gigs and, just to, and Los Angeles, you have everything. Same thing, with the recordings, and a lot of friends, who are in the music business, so it's definitely important, this city, as I've been over here 11 years right now, and I just love it over here.
I mean, I know people who are always chasing the next big music city. That's like a few years ago, it's like, oh, everyone's going to Nashville. And then it was, oh, everyone's going to Austin. And then it's like, oh, it's like, well, where are we all going? We're all the same people going somewhere. What is
Austin's
there?
Austin's the big one right now, right?
Yeah, like Austin, and there's another one. Well, I know a lot of people are going to Vegas now. Now I understand going to Vegas because cost of living is cheaper there, and there is just more opportunity. Once live music starts, there's a lot of opportunity if you're a cover band, because you can play in the casinos and whatnot. And from what I hear, that's some decent money, so you can exist on that. But yeah, I mean, right now when there's no live music, I mean, what are you doing?
Right. Yeah, I walked down Fremont Street because Jess and I actually got married in Vegas.
Okay.
I was on a work trip, so they paid for it. And I had enough miles to get her a free ticket. And, it's one hotel room, fits both of us, obviously.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we actually got married, and it was November 10th, 2016. So we got married like the day after the election in 2016 or the 2 days later or whatnot. So that was an interesting memory. But we were walking down Fremont Street. And have you guys been to Fremont?
Yes.
There was
Absolutely.
literally three different live bands at the same time. There's one at one end, one in the middle, one at the other end.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Batman was ziplining overhead. It was kind of cool. So.
It's definitely. I remember when I started to go to Fremont Street. It was which I kind of like also the old Vegas. You went to Golden Gate. And, like everything, like beers were $1 and, there was nothing happening on the strip, like on the Fremont Street. And it was the old Vegas, there was not too much. But past, I would say like 7 years or so, it has changed so much, So there's so many amazing bands playing and, crowded, the people. It has absolutely, totally different place. No more, $10 all you can eat and drink, buffets, over there, so that's gone.
You can't even get that in Mississippi. All right, man. Well, guys, I've had a lot of fun today. We've we said we'd do 30 minutes. We've done an hour. What's going on?
We're chatty.
We're chatty. How about another hour? Let's do it.
I'm down, man. I don't. You know what? I'll sit here all night. I live here anyway. You know what I mean? It's not like
a guitar. We're gonna make a song right now, and it's all something about pawn shop. Guitars.
Pawn shop guitars. I actually have no idea where the green one originally came from. It was somebody at work hooked me up with that, and actually the Iron Cross was a gift as well, so I just got.
Oh, really?
There. Yeah, I'm really
a lucky man.
Yeah, I was. Both of these were like gifted.
Okay.
And I've actually never bought I've never bought myself a bass. I bought someone else a bass one time, and I've been gifted 2 of them.
Well, how about the Neumann 103 to TL 103? Is that what's gift also? Is that the microphone over there, or what is that one? The microphone you're talking to?
Oh, this one. Yeah, no, this is a MXL.
Okay.
Yeah, MXL 990. So when I first started, it's kind of a funny story. When I first started doing music at home, when I started recording was 2008. And I had like a handheld mic, that I found not that I found, but I found it in my apartment. and it's something we had for karaoke, I think. And it had the jack, the little bitty jack, like headphone jack that you put into the pink hole on the computer, and it had like Audacity, that free audio editor, and was like recording stuff, and it was awful. And anyway, this was my attempt to get a real microphone, and that was God, 12 years ago. I've never replaced it because I mean it works.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
I've looked at what's that?
If it ain't broke.
Yeah, I've looked at mics like I should get a new mic, and then I'm like, well, why? This one works fine. I mean, like, is a mic gonna make me sing better? I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, people think that all the time. It's like, once I get this mic, I'm gonna sound great. It's like,
you'll just sound more like yourself, really.
Well,
But yeah, I didn't understand preamps, and I was like singing into that, like I say, right into the computer. And then my first interface was like that thing from Radio Shack with like 2 knobs on it. I don't even think it had. Did it have phantom power? I don't even know if it had phantom power on that. So I don't know. Being a home studio guy was definitely a learning curve. But I learned a lot through being a member of February Album Writing Month, FALM.org, which is a challenge in February to write 14 songs in 28 days. And there's a really supportive community there. And everybody shares their tips and tricks because everybody's at different levels of their journey, Whereas like 12 years ago, I was reading everything. And now I'm, I can give a little advice. I'm not an expert at much, but I know a couple things. But yeah, for me, doing the music is a passionate hobby. And yeah, it'd be great to get 1 million streams on a song, but I really enjoy doing the podcast and talking to all the other bands, getting to know these other artists.
Well, I think, it's for everybody, passion and hobby. It has to be fun to create something, it has to be funny so you can, it's the same thing, being in a work, you, like what you like to do, whatever, like we people like to do. But this is what I enjoy the most, and that's why I'm doing it. So,
what is your day job, Erno? What do you do?
Well, I've been also like building my friend's house, for 4 years, for right now, and some productions, so I had my own company, and it's all around, some, here and there. So,
okay. Yeah, whatever's doing it for you, but the music's the main passion, right?
Absolutely. Yeah it's just after work day, it's just open your computer and grab your guitars, and that's it. Suddenly it's time to watch Seinfeld, 10 o'clock.
I love Seinfeld.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Right, what's the deal with that? It's a joke with me and Jess that I'm all for Seinfeld characters depending on the time of day.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how I'm Elaine.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I'm always like trying to look smart. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's how I'm Elaine.
Yeah.
But
no, we haven't seen you dance yet, so we can't.
For those on Spotify, you're lucky. I should try to learn that, like, move for move. I recently binge watched the entire Seinfeld series because I read the book Seinfeldia, and if you hadn't read that and you need a book to read in quarantine, definitely.
Oh, really?
Check that out.
So what's so special about that?
It's about the show, how it started, and different things that happened each season, their approach to writing, and how they would cycle out writers because they didn't think you had more than a season's worth of interesting stories to tell. Yeah. Because the thing about Seinfeld is it would get stories, like real life stories, and then just exaggerate them, to make them funny. Yeah. And you're only going to have so many from your own life before you run out of stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of why he quit. That's why Seinfeld said he quit the show. He actually turned down $100 million for the next season.
Yeah. Well, his net worth is at $950 million. So, right now. So he's doing pretty good with reruns and,
he's doing all right. Yeah. It's the most successful.
Yeah.
Hey, I got my BMI royalty statement today, and I made $5.27 this quarter.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. So what are you gonna do with that money?
Oh gosh, invest it.
You have to
Clearly.
invest that money.
Now, was any of that from live streaming your own stuff?
No, because I didn't, because you have to file all that, and I always forget to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when they were like, okay, you have to fill out this thing and I'm like, this is too many forms for me to fill out. Like, not that I'm not being a brat, but like when there's everything else that I have to do, I forget to do it. And it's like for pennies.
Well, if YouTube flags this video, I'll be like, the freaking band is on the show. Like, come on, man. I think they know I played the song.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. All these platforms are always trying to lock us down.
Which is
We
funny.
will not be locked down.
Yeah.
It's almost
I
like
won't be locked down.
it's almost like they think that bands don't want people to play their music.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not a bad thing. Like, I
Yeah,
wish
we just don't want someone to make $1 million off of it and then give us no money. That's all we don't want.
Right. But that's a pretty easy lawsuit to win. But yeah, I mean, I'd love for 1 million people to pirate my song. That means they're listening. You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna check it out.
It translates to something.
Yeah, when you tour, they're gonna, probably come see you. I mean, like, we listen to Spotify, right? And we're not paying for each individual song or buying albums anymore. We're paying $15 a month, and the family uses Spotify. But we're gonna spend a ton of money and go see them live and buy their merchandise. I mean, you can bootleg merchandise, but it's probably not worth it once you spend the money.
So, I mean, I looked at our Q1 statement, and we had 22,000 streams for Copper Queen, and that made us 7 cents.
Holy shit.
Now
you can't even get a gumball, man. Like 7 cents? Like, what am I doing with that? Like,
you could pay $1 worth of tax in Mississippi. Retail is 7% here, 7%.
There you go. There you go.
So if you had $1, you could pay the tax. You want to hear a terrible joke about tax?
Sure. Yeah.
What about you, VK? I need double.
We're here, man. We're here.
I need double consent here.
All right.
So this guy goes into a store. It's not an original joke. It's something I heard, but it cracks me up. And a guy goes into a store and to buy a condom, and he has $1. And he sees one, and the price is $1. So he's like, well, I have $1. I need a condom. It costs $1. I'm gonna get this one. So he's like, cool. He takes it up to the cashier. And he's like, I want to buy this condom for $1. And she's like, okay. And she rings it up, and she's like, that'll be $1.07. And he's like, whoa, well, I thought it was just $1. And she's like, yeah, 7 cents is for the tax. And he's like, oh no, I want the ones that just roll on.
Okay.
I prefaced it by saying it's a terrible joke.
You
about
did.
tax.
You did.
I know. And so that makes it great, So
Oh man. When I first heard that and it hit me, I was like, ouch. That's awful.
And on that
VK, do you have any jokes, for yourself over there?
I've always got jokes, but that's okay.
Okay, so just tell me one.
All right, one joke, and then I've got to go make dinner for this husband.
Okay.
So my husband's Irish, so I'm allowed to tell this joke. And I like simple jokes, one line, get it
All
done.
right, let's do it.
2 Irishmen walk out of a bar.
Okay.
My husband's always like, oh. I'm like, well, I'm like, yes, he says, through his Guinness. And I'm like, okay.
Hey, I just that's what I had. I just drank a Guinness.
I do like a Guinness.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, early 2000s, like late 90s, in college, I had a band called Mr. Guinness. And we made it, because it was 9 o'clock in the morning and we were craving Guinness, but also like we wrote a song and it was about Alec Guinness, the actor, and it had all the Guinness, things, so
The old Obi-Wan.
yeah. So I think, it was a beautiful times and Yeah, Mr. Guinness, so, we have an album, also, I haven't shared that with too many people, so.
Well, I feel special. You guys are spoiling me.
Mm.
But hey, VK, if you gotta go cook, man, I hate to I hate to hold up the family routine.
Mm. Mm.
No, I just gotta feed this man and feed this dog. Here, see,
Yeah.
like my dog's over here, and he's like, "Where's my food, Mom?"
Hey, the
Oh, is
first
it 6 o'clock, food feeding time for you?
Yeah, he's starting to give me the eyeball, like, I
yeah,
could just eat you.
Yeah, it's 6:10, and then like everybody's like,
Or he'll do this thing where he comes up and he just starts licking my hand, like, any minute I will eat this hand.
yeah.
I'm like, okay, buddy, okay,
Yeah.
we're all right.
Yeah.
that's gonna be the thumbnail for the video.
Mm.
Yeah, gotta be.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thanks
Yeah.
for coming on, guys. I really enjoyed
Thanks for having us.
playing your stuff, and hopefully we'll do a few more of these over time when things are going on. Maybe they'll be from the road one day. That'd be nice.
Yeah,
Live from the road. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll be there with you. We could just do
Yeah,
it together.
That was Tenacious
That would
D.
be rad.
That was Tenacious D. I like the way you like a life on the road, Cage.
Yeah, live on the road.
Love it.
Love Tenacious D.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Appreciate all the viewers and listeners on Spotify and Apple and all that. And you guys can catch the archive at gsladeshow.com. This has been the Spider Accomplice, VK and Arno. Thank you very much. And I guess we're going to get out of here until next time. Good luck with your songs.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank
All
you
right.
so
Bye,
much.
guys.
See you.